Sombra, Sombra, Sombra. Not having a good life, are you? I know this data is old, especially for whenever I manage to get this video out, but I'm 99% sure that nothing much will have changed since these bans. So, as the video title suggests, how can we, all of us, as a society, solve this issue? Well, first let's look at the quote-unquote reason she gets banned so often.
Apagando las luces.
There are a lot of characters that are annoying to play against in Overwatch, other hero shooters, fighting games, MOBAs probably, I don't play them. It's just how things always will be. How annoying they are is also rank dependent and character dependent. I'm sure there are some other characters you're thinking of that I didn't throw up on the screen just then. And people often get salty over whatever was the last thing that beat their ass. So Sombra isn't entirely unique there at all. Sometimes people enjoy competitive video games, but 90% of the time it's about pointing to your opponent, their character, and saying,
"You're carried! You're carried! You're carried! You're carried! You're carried! Tomorrow, you're getting fucked up!"
However, in Sombra's case, despite numerous reworks, she's still getting jailed permanently by the majority of the player base. Whether you think that's stupid or not, doesn't really matter. The player base has decided she's a problem. So why? Why? Well, pretty obviously, her kit is meant to be annoying as hell, because that's the hero fantasy of a hacker, is to destruct without being seen, noticed. Being invisible, combining that with her hack letting her remove an opponent's ability, is intentionally frustrating. And I personally feel it's the two together rather than just one or the other. You don't get to see where she's coming from, and then bam, she removes some of your agency, locking you out of an ability. Very temporarily, yes, very temporarily, but people don't like it when they have things taken from them. We are still toddlers, so it's pretty straightforward what's irritating there. But I also feel there's another reason she gets banned so often. A lot of people simply suck at her, so it's also to stop their ass teammates stinking up the kill feed with her sloppy corpse everywhere. She's not exactly high damage either, doesn't have a constant fight presence usually, plays a lot of hide and seek, and she requires some level of coordination to work properly. You think anybody in Diamond or below is coordinating with a Sombra? No. Nor are they going to get anyone peeling for the Sombra that's dominating the backline or get the team to play faster to outpace her setup time. It's not going to happen. To most people, she's either useless and a waste of a character slot for their teammate, or this giant monster who's here only to ruin your fun and nothing else. She is the king or Akuma of Overwatch. Except those characters in those games are actually good. She does probably more than any other character increase a term we can take from fighting games, mental stack, which is essentially trying to remember all the different options your opponent has to mess you up with and how you can respond to them. So the invisibility of Sombra does add an extra layer of it to the game, as it's all on her decision for whether you can see her. But mental stack isn't nearly as severe here as in, say, Street Fighter, because it's a team game and the large 3D open space of the maps gives you more room. Still, however small that mental stack may be, a lot of the players simply don't want to engage with that kind of awareness because that's not what they want from this game. But wait, okay? Because Marvel Rivals has two characters who use invisibility, right? Can we learn anything from how that game uses it and apply it to Overwatch? Honestly, not really. Neither Invisible Woman or Psylocke can disable abilities while staying invisible. They only really have invisibility for strictly positioning or an escape tool. If we followed suit and say just remove the hack, for instance, we'd have an entirely different character than Sombra. You know, hackers got a hack. But personally speaking, I don't think Sombra is really particularly good. The hack and invisibility are slightly irritating at best. You just need some self-awareness and vague conscious teammates. So to finish this section up of the video, is this a character issue or a player base issue? It's more likely simply a bit of both, because we can actually change the character, but unfortunately for Sombra players we can't change how people view her or deal with her. Ultimately, I'd say the problem comes down to this. It's the idea of what she can do rather than what she's actually capable of doing.
Apagando las luces.
Here they come, the big solutions, how to fix her, what miraculous ideas do I have? Big talk buddy, what are your solutions? Ready, the fix? Not sure you can. Hooray! I think the best we can do is this. How do we try to limit what's annoying about her, hack and invisibility, without taking away her identity? How much can we reduce the ban rates while keeping the kits that make Sombra, Sombra?
Catch you later.
We can't really do a whole lot with this. Great start, I know. Our choices are either permanent, timed, or none at all. If you go with the last one, again, you've taken away a notable identifying part of her kit. Hacker's power is about staying anonymous. This fits. And say you do remove it completely, she's going to need some sort of mobility to keep her assassin scout style. Relying entirely on translocator would be absolute cheeks. So what could we do here? I don't know, bounce through electrical equipment. How would that work, you idiot? I don't know, I'm just suggesting ideas. So I think we have to keep it, either timed or permanent. At this point doesn't really matter. Okay though, the hack can be adjusted a lot more without affecting her identity, I think, just about what the hack actually does. So I was able to come up with some legit ideas for this ability. They're probably either OP or useless, but hey, they are thoughts I had and I put them in a video. But also I'm not PopCorp, so I can't make it work in game or with 3D models or anything like that, so just enjoy some simple little drawings. That's what you're getting. Number 1, cooldown swap. Yes, let's start things off with such a terrible, horrible idea that you shouldn't take it seriously. It wouldn't work. It would probably be more annoying than the current or any future Sombra iteration. But hey, slapping BAP's lamp cooldown on each of Tracer's individual blinks for a bit would be funny. The closest you could probably get to making this work wouldn't really be a cooldown swap, it would just have to be an increase limit of like say a 5-second difference or something, but there are too many variables. I just wanted to make sure I had 4 ideas. Okay, that's why this is here. Number 2, chain hack. Sombra will be able to chain hack 3 or 4 characters together at once, giving the same effect across them. There are a few ways I think you could take the effect it would have. Something easy and boring, honestly, like simply reveal them through the walls. Uninspired. Alternatively, you could either reduce all the hacked characters' weapon damage that they put out, or make one hacked target the primary, and anyone who is linked also takes a small amount of damage together, whenever that primary is damaged. Naturally scaling the amount of damage with how many are hacked, so if it's 2, 3, 4, you know, it'd drop by 10% maybe for each person added. I think that's kind of fun, it's not taking anything from anyone, but it can still be kind of irritating, which is what Sombra players want. Number 3, ammo change. I like this idea that she can hack her own or allied weapon to temporarily be more effective against either health, armor, or shields. You know, she's a hacker. It's about exploiting your enemy's holes. Get in the holes, which is what hackers do. So I think this is thematically pleasing to the character. And lastly, number 4, multi-option hack. There will be a better name for this, I can't think of it. This one would be taking some inspiration from Guilty Gear's latest character, the guest character, Lucy.
Quick hack. Lucy utilizes a quick hack to hack the opponent, debuffing the opponent with different effects, depending on your selection.
This one would give Sombra multiple options to choose from when she's hacking an opponent, choosing between, say, reducing the target's damage numbers, their movement speed, or reducing the healing that they can receive. As Sombra is very much a utility character, I think this and a few of the other options kind of fit that bill. So those were the 4 options I came up with. If you ignored the first one, which was horrible, I think they're all pretty solid ideas, or maybe they all suck. Just, you know, let me know what you'd think. For the sake of it, I also thought of something with the translocator too. This probably doesn't really matter, I wouldn't really bother changing this, but you could maybe give her 2 translocators, you know, using one to bait with so she can detonate it while escaping with the other one. There's also Virus too, which I do not like Virus, I think it's cheap, and I'd switch that out for a parry type ability. I don't know, call it a Firewall. A la Street Fighter 6 perfect parry, you know, one that's actually difficult to use, not like Wrecking Ball's giant time frame. But because this isn't Street Fighter, I don't think a 1-frame parry would be useful at all. Might be a bit too much, maybe 0.5 second max, maybe you could do it a touch slower. Indicated by a blue flash that's effective on abilities, you know, reflecting a sleep dart or soaking up a pulse bomb for some overhealth. The idea with this one being it's very hard to get right, maybe it's too high skill, I don't know, but it would be an extra thing on top of the other stuff. There is also the ult too, but ults are supposed to be big and effective, and is anybody really complaining about that? Maybe it's because nobody's seeing her anymore, so no one cares. Also, for all the Sombra mains who may be watching this, what do you think of these kind of ideas? Do you think it changes her identity too much away from what you'd prefer, or whatever? I'm sure you just prefer her to be not banned so much, but you're trying to work on something, okay? Just let me know. Ultimately, I go back to what I said at the start of this section. Not sure we can. I'd like to say teach the community a bit more, but we're about, what, 6-7 years into that now for Sombra, and unless Overwatch specifically puts in a how to deal with Sombra tutorial, seminar maybe, in the game menu, that ain't changing. So you might be thinking, you pointed out problems and provided no solutions. Why? Yeah, well, Sombra players, are you looking forward to the next rework? When will it be? When will it be? Sombra 4.0 under construction. Where will we go next? Well, I think I know. Logically based on going from permanent to timed stealth with her previous reworks, let's just take that last step with her invisibility. We've removed Sombra's invisibility completely now. Instead, she puts her hands over her eyes. If she can't see you, you can't see her. Alternatively, we can just remove her entirely from the map and make her a real-life hacker. Sombra is still selectable, however, she is no longer playable or visible on maps. Instead, she is put in her own private computer room where she can edit the map, the rules, and the character abilities. Sombra has no team. She doesn't need no team. She is her own team. She is game admin and you are her pawns. Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you found something useful in my suggestions. Like, subscribe, so on. Watch more when I put videos out. Let me know your thoughts on Sombra in general. Bye.